Are you living from paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and thinking when I get paid, I don't have enough money to put away or save for emergency, not even $1,000 for emergency fund? Well, stay tuned. I have a tip that I think that just might help you because it helped me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time, and welcome. And if you're returning, thank you and welcome. And like I said, if you're in that situation, which a lot of people are, I have a tip that I think that might help you because it helped me years ago. Now, this is not something that's going to make you rich or going to help you build wealth, but it's to put away for emergency. We have to be prepared because we never know when we're going to have an emergency. And like I stated in the past, there's times I had emergencies when I had no money. And it was like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place and, trying to go to somebody. They don't have it. They're in the same situation, robbing Peter to pay Paul. If they can't help themselves, they can't help us. So we have to do whatever we have to do to prepare ourselves. And $1,000 is not a lot of money, but it's something. Okay, so this is what I used to do. After my check was direct deposited into my bank, on Friday evening when I would get off, I would go to the bank and I would withdraw $50. But I would ask them to give it to me in quarters, a roll of quarters. See? Okay, and I have here 5 roll of quarters, which totals to $50. That's not that much money, but you may not even have that. If you don't have that much, start off with 10 or 20. Whatever you have, do something. And over time, it adds up. You will be surprised. See, I needed something that I wasn't going to touch. And something like this, I didn't touch. And I did this years ago until one day I had to use it. Well, this one teller asked me one time, she said, "What are you doing with all those quarters? What are you doing with that?" And I told her I was saving for emergency. And she said, "That's a good idea. I'm going on a trip next year and I can do it for that." I said, "Yes, you can. You can save for your trip. This is something I don't touch." And she said, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." So what ended up happening is I had a trip that was coming up. And my daughter and my grandson lived in Las Vegas at the time. And my grandson was graduating from high school. And there was no way in the world I was missing his graduation because those things only come around once. So what I did was I had been getting these quarters every payday. And every time I had $10, I would get a roll of quarters. And sometimes, at one time I was doing a roll of quarters, roll of dimes, a roll of nickels, and roll of penny. And I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I'll just stick with the quarters. I think they will add up quicker. So my grandson was graduating and I wanted to go to see his graduation. And so what I did, I pulled out all these quarters that I had been saving, these rolls of quarters. And I had $900, which was more than enough to pay for my trip because I had a package deal where you get the flight, hotel, and car, which makes it less expensive. So I was able to make that trip, make my grandson's graduation. And you'll be surprised how it will add up. Well, see, like I said, it came up to $900, which was almost $1,000. And I would get these quarters so much until the bank gave me this. You see this, what this says? Quarters, $1,000. So you can actually save $1,000 with these, with a roll of quarters. You need approximately 100 rolls to save for $1,000. And I pulled this bag out today, and so I could do this video, not realizing that the last time I cashed these quarters in, because what I did was I had a book bag with wheels on them, and I loaded them up, took them to the bank, and I'm just putting all these rolls up on the counter, and the teller was looking at me like I was crazy, like, where'd she get all this from? But anyway, I didn't realize that I pulled this bag out today, and I didn't realize, and here was another roll still in there. See how this has turned colors? Is kind of yellowish, and this is a new roll, and this is an old roll. So I still had a roll of quarters in there, and then it was another roll in here that broke open. So I had another roll of quarters. I missed this one when I went to cash. I think it's all of them. When I went to cash those other rolls in, that equaled $900. And I didn't even know this was in there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start back doing this. See, we have more than what we think we have. We just have to be disciplined and diligent and, be focused on what we're going to do and our goals. So this is another way you can save for emergency. Just take, when you go to the bank, some of us, that's all we have is our 9-to-5 jobs. Some of us don't have a side hustle. Now I do, but if that's all you have, it's got to come from somewhere. Just like the last video I just filmed. I filmed the video. Right before I filmed the video, okay, I put a load of clothes in the washer. No big deal, no big deal. The clothes washed. When I finished filming, they were done. So I put those in the dryer. Then I put another load of clothes in the washer. Turned the washer on. The water was running. All of a sudden, it stopped. And I'm thinking, I might have to get another washer. Well, I've been putting away. I would have been able to do that. And I don't want to have to use a credit card if I did, because the goal is to come out of debt. Thankfully, it was able to be repaired, able to be fixed, and I didn't have to go into debt. But I would have this to fall back on. I just started that cash stuffing binder where I've been putting away for emergency for that. So we have to do something. Because when we come into these things, when they happen, we can't go to other people. They're in the same situation, robbing Peter to pay Paul. They can barely help themselves. And if they can't help themselves, they can't help us. And, we don't want to be a burden to people. And when we're putting away and preparing ourselves, it keeps us from begging and borrowing and stealing. I don't want to be a burden to nobody. I want to be able to help myself. So this is another tip, another way that you can save for emergency. Get a roll of quarters. If you don't want to do quarters, you can do dimes and nickels or pennies. But do something. You'll be surprised how it adds up if you don't touch it. And you'll be glad you did. And this, like I said, this is not to build wealth or to get rich. In order to build wealth, we need to invest in the stock market. And that's something I'm doing every month also, is investing in the stock market. Okay? And over time, that will build wealth for me. Okay, but thank you for stopping by. And I hope this video is helpful. I hope something has been said to help you, to motivate you, to encourage you to save for emergency. Because that's just how it was getting with me. Emergency coming, can't do this, can't do that. Something is better than nothing. and you'll be surprised. So thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this video helped you, and I hope it encouraged you and motivates you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for stopping by, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.